All right, Blaine, I wanted to look at yourself and Randy Johnson. I felt like it was a pretty good comparison from a setup standpoint. Also, both of you guys being taller guys and controlling your body and just kind of watching what you do in relationship to what he does and how simple that his delivery really is. I flipped him so he would be a right-hander so we could see him from the right side. Here you can see literally you guys are somewhat mirror images of one another from the balance point, so that looked pretty good. As we start to roll forward, you will see that you guys get to this frame here, and this is where it starts to get somewhat interesting, a little concerning from your standpoint as to what we got. See how we're working uphill? And remember how I kept talking about you swinging your front hand out and around, and how you have a tough time getting our arm up? And you can see here, that's happening because your shoulders are tilted uphill, and you can see here where Randy Johnson, he's still going downhill with his hands, downhill with his shoulders. His hands haven't moved as far as yours. He's being a little more selective exactly with what he's doing with his movement. As we start to move here, you can see that we get to frame 4. Actually, let's go frame 5 and back up, both of you guys. Now, right here, as the lead foot lands, for both of you, I'm going to circle his hand, front arm, okay, right here. Now, let's circle your front arm, or front glove, and let's circle his glove. And I'm going to slide you guys over so you big guys don't go outside the screen. But here's what I want you to notice. Again, shoulders are downhill, very directional, with his head, shoulders, hips are closed, knees are going in there. All right, now what I want you to notice here with your front side is look where your shoulders are already pointing. All right, they're already pointed out. Our shoulders are already closed. Start to see that head is going to follow that front shoulder. Okay. Now, as we start to move forward, let's move forward from those frames right there. We get our glove in that front side, in that front window. Now notice, I'm going to go click, frame. All right, now when we go frame, now see how his glove is staying still? Where's his head at? His head is over his front toe. Okay? Where's your head at? It went with that front shoulder. It's already fallen out. And that's why we keep talking about having such a controller head, controller front side, controller head, controller front side. This is what it's about. And the fact that you could see how Randy Johnson, how he's 6'10" or 11 or whatever he is able to control his front side, his head, be very directional. And this is where we talked about how I talked about with your arm, and looking at your arm, look at where we're at with this arm, how high it is. I know we talked about you dropping your arm a little bit, and it's not really dropping your arm from a standpoint of let's throw sidearm. That's not what I'm asking you to do. What I'm asking you to do is let's drop our arm down into this area that's about right out here. Okay, now it's going to allow our head to stand upright more, much like you can see Randy Johnson's head here. His arm's about 3/4 to out to the side, and he's not being directional or as far as being pulled glove side. Again, you can see here his glove is in one spot, and it stayed in that one spot. So we go frame after frame after frame after frame. You guys can see the difference of how he's much more directional to the plate and how much you spin. And a lot of that is leading with that glove from the very beginning. When we start to lead with that glove, you can see how everything starts to spin in that front side. You can see how now with your glove where he's at and how simple his front side is. Hopefully that helps. I know I got a little winded there, but hopefully that'll help you understand and see what we're talking about as far as being more directional with our front side and controlling our head. And when I say drop our arm slide, it's not throw sidearm, but it's your elbow is so high that it's forcing your head to the side, so you can't control your head. So when I say dropping our elbow, it's keeping our elbow above our shoulder blade, but it's not in a way that we can still control our head. And you can see this best in this picture right here. With Randy Johnson to the side. He's still over the top, but his elbow is above his shoulder blade, but he's still able to control his head. So hopefully that'll help you see it. I'm going to let it roll one time right here from frame 2 and just let it roll through slow motion so you guys can see what both sides look like.